Good afternoon. Today is May 25th, 2011. This is Hurricane Cities with an update on your severe weather forecast May through June and your early season hurricane outlook, which starts June 1st and goes through November. First of all, our severe weather. For the last month or so, we've been having a lot of violent severe storms such as tornadoes, large hail, gusty winds, flooding, and I believe that is going to be continuing through the month of June. The reason for the ingredients is cool air coming from the north, from Canada, and you have warm, moist air coming from the Gulf of Mexico colliding with the cool air. And then you got dry air from the western United States going through Texas into the lower Mississippi Valley. And you have all that gelling right there in that bullseye that I have marked in red, and I believe that's the high potential for severe thunderstorms, violent tornadoes, large hail such as golf ball to baseball size, and you have the straight line wind damage. The straight line wind damage is caused by squall lines with dry slots behind the squall lines coming from the west coast and bowing, and you have those bow echoes forming, and then straight line wind damage. Anywhere from 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts is to expect for the area there in the red. Circled around the red is the black line, and I think moderate chances for moderate tornadoes, anywhere from a 1 to a 2, and then in the red I believe it's more severe like tornadoes between 2 and 4 will strike in that region. Now taking a look at the hurricane outlook, I believe that the water temperatures are very warm this year, unusually warm compared to years in the past. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 80s, and a lot of these storms are going to brew closer to home this year, be home brewed tropical features. One in particular is the Northwest Caribbean. I think we're going to have more tropical features in the Caribbean this year than we've had in a number of years, and will push northward into the north central Gulf of Mexico, which really concerns me, anywhere along the southeast Louisiana coast to the Florida Panhandle. I don't think any of these storms will travel west like they did last year. They were mostly westerly tracks through the southern and Central America into the Gulf of Campeche and into Mexico. I believe that they're going to take a more northerly track compared to last year. And into the Atlantic, I believe that some of the storms are going to form north of the Lesser Antilles, the Leeward Islands, and push west and northwest, and may even scrape the east coast of Florida and move northward and hit the Carolinas. The wind shears values are going to be lesser toward the beginning of the hurricane season, and I believe toward the end the wind shears will begin to increase in value because of the waters of the Pacific are going to be warmer, and that's when you go back into what we call an El Nino phase, and I believe that that's going to happen later toward the end of the season. And then currently we're in the neutral phase, which the wind shear should be lesser toward the beginning of the season and make it more easier for these storms to breed and form into the waters of the Gulf and the Atlantic. So speaking of long term, I believe we're going to have less number of hurricanes this year, but we're going to have more impacts to the land areas than we've had in the past. I believe most of them are going to be moving into the Gulf, out of the Caribbean, and into the southeast. And a lot of these Caribbean islands also going to be affected by some strong hurricanes. And I'm talking about anywhere from 2 2 to 4. I'm not saying that we're going to have an F5, category 5, but I believe that we're going to have storms anywhere from a 3 or greater, 3 or 4, to hit the mainland anywhere along the North Gulf Coast and the southeast central part of the U.S. along the Carolinas. So that's my predictions. Continue to watch the weather here locally in the lower Mississippi Valley, because the weather is going to be really rough in the end of May through June, and I believe that the hurricane season is going to start off really early, and we're going to see a lot of bad storms approaching the Gulf Coast. Thanks for joining us. This is Hurricane Cities. Have a great night.